We have the ETF challenge coming up in a week. We're taking a break from doing our research, doing our deep dives. So we're going to let you see what we see. I just took this deck out a couple of days ago. That's why it looks like it does. My wife wants concrete. She wants patio. As you know, this is Michigan. It's supposed to be cold. I am the abnormality. I like it cold. I'd rather be 30 below than anything above 80. Well, 75 to be honest, but I'd like it cold. My dogs like it cold. This is Bruce. He's our rescue. Our latest rescue. They're both rescues. Bruce is our latest rescue. We call him Mr. Nubbins because he chewed off his tail. That's his tail right there. Mr. Nubbins. Oh, can't look at my toenail, sorry. When we saw him, we went to the Humane Society. He was in the paper. I went to go look at him on a Monday, and the person that was working the desk, her name is Heather, she would not let me go until I got to meet Bruce. So she put me in a room and bring Bruce in. He immediately tore apart his stuffed toys. Every stuffed toy there was, he immediately destroyed it. So I just kind of sat back and watched him play. Eventually he came around and sniffed, I think twice, and I petted him and he let me pet him. That was cool. But that was it. That was about 20 minutes worth watching him eat treats and tear apart his stuffed toys. But so that Tuesday, well, Monday night, I went home and told my wife that I saw him and he was not aggressive. He wasn't outlandishly crazy. So she went to go see him on Tuesday. She had the same experience. He tore apart toys, except this time, I think there were people in the room with her. So she came back on Tuesday and said that we could go ahead and, well, not we could. She liked him, had the right temperament. She's like, all right. So Wednesday, I went to go see him, and I was going to go take him for a walk, which our local Humane Society welcomes because you're taking one of the shelter animals for a walk. So they absolutely go ahead. So I took him for a walk, and I have that on video somewhere. I'll put that up as a link. But he was very calm walking. I took a video of it to show my wife, and she saw it that night. And that was Wednesday. Thursday, uh, we brought this guy, his older brother, to go meet him, to go make sure that they were going to get along, which was obviously the very first thing we were thinking of. They needed to get along. As you can see, that's currently not a problem at all. But that Thursday, there were 2 yards that were fenced in. They were separated by about 5 feet. So if you got out of 1 yard, you still had a little safety barrier until you got to the second yard. So we had Ruckus. That's Ruckus. We had Ruckus in 1 yard, and we had Bruce in the other yard. They sniffed each other, but didn't. They could like they didn't give a shit that somebody else was there. They played with the same toy. See, it's that hot. He's going in. Well, he's got black fur, so he's easily susceptible to the heat. But that Thursday, they got along. They didn't growl at each other, so we made a date for that Friday. Oh, what was it? Friday? I think I was off, so I had Ruckus for all morning. We had, I think it was 11 o'clock appointment. We showed up at 10:30 earlier to see what they did to him to prep him for getting to see somebody that maybe like give him a shave or give him some more drugs to calm him down or whatever. It's like you do with the car. I'm going to show up and I'm going to have a used car and I'm going to look at it at noon. Show up at 11 o'clock before anybody ever gets a chance to look at it or turn it on to warm it up. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with him. But this Friday, I had him and Ruckus in the same yard. They sniffed. There's a little bit of growling, but that was understandable. It wasn't obsessive. So we were going to make a next date for that Saturday. So that would have been 5-6 days that we would have seen him. They had, they were going to be closed earlier on Saturday. So I just, out of the blue, looked at my wife and said, we're already here. We're already, let's just go ahead and pull the cord, cut the cord. Let's do the deed. Let's put him in the back of the truck and let's go home. Long story short, that's what we did. Brought him back. In the back of my head, well, to begin with, he chewed off his tail again. He did that because his first owner kept him in an apartment. Now he's an 88-pound German Shepherd German Shepherd mix. Yeah, so he had what they call CCD, KCD, canine compulsive disorder. There's somebody going around the neighborhood. I just heard him yell. That's why you see his head go up. But he was on heavy, heavy, heavy drugs because he bit off his tail, or he chewed off his tail because he had nothing better to do. I get it. Now, this is our immediate yard. This is 0.6 acres. We have another 2.5 sitting over there in the woods. We roam that all day long. So this guy, we knew this guy had room to roam. He'd have the freedom that a big dog, any dog needs. So we knew he had a little problem with his eating his tail. He was on. Oh, I can't tell you what it's on now. What drug he's on now. But we've cut that in half easily. He was on 400 milligrams of, I don't know, I want to call it dopamine, but I know that's not it. I want to say propofol, but that's not it either. Some kind of depressant for a dog. They're prescribing it to people now for sleep disorders. God, I can't remember what the hell that is right now for life me. But yeah, we cut this dosage in half. He's gained, I think, 4 pounds, but that's just sheer. It's not fat. I think it's muscle from actually having to climb hills. He's doing a lot of swimming. As you can see, his fur is still wet. But man, absolutely the perfect dog. He is. I mean, they're all perfect. Don't get me wrong. Every one of my dogs is perfect. They've had characteristics that nobody else had. Him, he's the biggest lover. Oh my goodness, Franklin was ranking a lab Amstaff mix. So he was about 75 pounds. He was the biggest we had up until Bruce on April 24th of this year. Ironically, our first dog, Bosco, who is right there on my arm as a cremation tattoo, Bosco's birthday happened to be on April 24th, which was the same day that we picked up Bruce. I didn't know that until I was searching through the calendar a couple weeks ago and told my wife, and she honestly got a little teary-eyed. It was kind of cool. Um, but yeah, he is so easygoing, so laid back, except for his German Shepherd. These collars, honestly, and I'm glad he doesn't know English or can't understand those collars. He ignores this collar. It doesn't matter. I got the vibrating, I got the buzzer, and I got the ring-a-ding, the bell. I don't use the shock. I'll vibrate him, but I'm not gonna use that shock. But he likes to run after things, and he'll be gone for 10 minutes. He'll make you think that something bad happened. And then, of course, like all dogs, he'll come up behind you and, yeah, I've been here the whole time. Tonight is the story of Bruce. But yeah, he is such a good kid. It rained the last couple of days. We got a good amount. I got to mow. And then I got to figure out something to do with this deck. I got to get this all level. Wish I had a mini skid steer. I could do that really quick. What's up, chat? Oh my god, what's up, chat? It said hi, hi! I don't have my glasses on. The dog's name, this is Bruce, is right there. Ruckus was the black guy. He went inside. Excuse me, the black-haired dog. Yeah, they are. They cute. They are my cutie pies. They are. He is a big bundle of love. But yeah, he's what one we had? Bosco, then Franklin, Ruckus, Mac, and now Bruce. So we've had 5. If counting Cody, Cody was my wife's dog before we got married. So you call that 6. Cody and Bosco had to be put down because they reached their limit. Quality of life, we should call it. Wasn't any. It was just they got old. That was it. Bosco, his hips. Uh, he had a look. I remember that look he gave me when he said, it's getting a lot. This is a lot of pain. I knew his hips were giving him problems, and I knew that there was limited time. But when he actually turned around, I remember I was in my chair. Oh, we got a Jeep. Or got a Jeep, Jesus. We got a plane going over. I do have a Jeep. We got a plane. The plane's nicer. Hi, plane. Hi, plane. Now, sun's in my eyes. I can't see him. Sorry, I'm going to miss the shot. I don't see him. Oh, there he is. I think that turned out blurry. That is one of the darndest best things that happens. That we have the flight path goes right overhead. Oh, which means it's a nice Sunday. So we're going to get a couple more planes. That would be the 10 o'clock, 10:30. He's not going to Detroit because Detroit will go that way. That looks like he's going to Chicago. But what were we talking about? Yeah, Bosco gave me a look, and it was time. I told my wife, "Oh, he gave me a look that is," and apparently he gave her that look a couple of days before then. She was just waiting for confirmation, so that was hard. Cody was hard too. The first one, Cody's hips would actually give out. She was a border collie. She was a great dog, smart. Oh my god! And she didn't like me for the first 2 years that my wife and I were together. She would not let me get close to her at all. She hated me. Oh my god! But she had eventually. It was nice. We had great times together. We'd walk. Uh, we did a lot of walks together. I love Cody. She was a great dog. Then we had Bosco. Bosco was great too. My wife said I was mad at Bosco for about the first 6 years because he was a stubborn fool. I don't remember. I just remember the last, all the good times with that pup. Man, he was absolutely fantastic. He wouldn't. He'd do whatever he wanted to do. He wanted to go fishing. He'd go fishing with me on the pier. He'd lay down on the concrete and just sit there and wait for me to get a fish. It was great. Wanted to go walking at the hatchery, he'd go walking. He wanted to hang out on the deck, he'd hang out on the deck. He didn't give a shit. He just wanted to be right wherever you're at. Great dog. We put him down, and that's when my wife and I made a discovery that we are dog people. It was it took about 5 months after we put Bosco down. Um, that was hard for me because that was my first dog. I really was hesitant about getting another one. But that didn't last too long. We went to, can't remember how we found, oh, Franklin. I was turned on to Franklin at the Humane Society by a coworker back then. Um, that said he found this great dog and wanted to see if he could had room for it at his house. His house was like 5 other dogs or something or another, but the Humane Society wouldn't let him have it. Too many dogs. So he was bitching to me. Well, I'm thinking, God, we're looking for another dog. If this guy says that the dog he's looking at is good, but he can't take it, I'm gonna go take a look at that dog. Went and took a look at him, and I think my wife and I went in this room together. And Franklin came in, looked at me, looked at my wife, and immediately went over to my wife and laid his head in her lap. That was it. We were taking him home an hour later. Swear to God. Oh, what was it? Franklin had cancer. Got cancer at the end. We took him into the vet to get checked up. I can't remember why. And then a doctor, I can't remember his name. He's got a really unique name. That was his grandfather's name. I asked him about it once. Like Dugmar or not Dogmar, something else. But yeah, he told us he had cancer, and it was pretty quick. Uh, Meanwhile, we moved up to our house here, and Franklin needed a. We're gonna step back in time. Franklin needed a playmate because we had this room, and we always said if we buy a house, we lived in a trailer before here, in a mobile home park. But we always said if we bought a house, we're gonna buy it, get another dog, have 2 dogs, maybe 3. So we did. We got picked up Ruckus. He was in the paper for the Humane Society. He came from Louisiana. He came from a litter of, I think, 6. And he was the runt of the litter. He had a skin infection so bad, it took us a year, us and our vet at Maple River, to get his allergies under control. Holy smokes. Um, so we got Ruckus, and we had Ruckus and Franklin were absolutely fantastic for 3 years. And then, I don't know if Ruckus turned older or Franklin just all of a sudden didn't give a shit about him, and he started to ignore him. So Ruckus is kind of a sensitive fella. He was down in the dope. He was in the dopies. He didn't really want to do much of anything. So of course I'm looking at it, scratching my head, going, "Okay, this is room for number 3." So I looked in the paper, and that brought us Mac. So we had 3 dogs. We had Franklin, Mac, and Ruckus. Oh my God, that was absolutely fantastic. I was going to get a bigger vehicle because I couldn't fit all 3 of them in my Jeep and my wife. So it had to be either the Jeep or the wife, or the dogs or the Jeep. It couldn't be all 3, 4. Fun, fun, fun. Then Franklin had cancer. So we had to put him down. Then it was Mac and Ruckus. And then Mac had a problem, and we had to put him down. And that was around April, second week of April, I think. And that tore Ruckus apart. Because it was, okay, you taking my older brother away from me, now you're taking my younger brother away. What the fuck is you doing? What's going on? It would bring tears to your eyes to see Ruckus. He'd walk probably quarter of a mile, turn around and wait. Nobody's calling to do it. I'm sorry, man. Yeah. So we started looking for number 5. He was in the paper. Sorry. I kept seeing him in the paper, and every time I look in the paper, I'd see Bruce. Look on the internet, I'd see Bruce. I was like, well, what the hell? All right, let's look at Bruce. And it was Bruce's large dog. He's senior at 5.5. And I can't remember if they put pit bull mix in his description or not. But that is the dumbest frickin' thing to put in somebody's description. You leave the pit bull out until you know that these people are serious about dogs, and then say, hey, you know what? Come here, let me talk to you for a minute. Not that pit bulls are bad. Pit bulls are great. You got bad owners. I'm 100%. Says the guy, hey, yeah.